All right, on that note, we're looking at the new Parliament showdown that's now reached the top court. The Supreme Court PIL that's filed in court, the top court, against Prime Minister Modi unveiling this new Parliament building. This is a PIL that's been moved in the Supreme Court seeking directions to Lok Sabha Secretariat and the Government of India to have the Parliament inaugurated by the President of India, Draupadi Murmu, instead. The plea that's been filed by Advocate C.R. Jayasukin has been submitted by excluding the President from the inaugural ceremony. This is what the plea says. The Government of India has violated Indian Constitution and the Constitution is not being respected. Parliament is the supreme legislative body of India. The Indian Parliament comprises of the President and the two houses, Council of States and Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, House of People. The President has the powers to summon and prorogue either house of the Parliament or to dissolve Lok Sabha, says the plea. Also, plea further stating President is an integral part of the Parliament. Why the President has been kept away from the foundation ceremony itself, the foundation stone laying ceremony, and now is not even part of the inauguration. It really shows respondents' malpractice and depriving the people of India their due. This is what the plea says precisely. In fact, Anisha Mathur, who's following court for us, will be able to break it down for us a little more clearly. Anisha, I read out a few points coming in on that plea that's been filed in the top court. It appears that there's been now push in the apex court asking for this May 28th inauguration ceremony by Prime Minister Modi to be stalled, and claiming that this is absolute disrespect for the system, protocols in place which ideally should have the President of India, head of state, to be inaugurating the Parliament.
Well, yes, this is a petition that has been filed just a few minutes ago before the Supreme Court of India. We'll have to wait and see if the court takes it up, what the court has to say about it. But clearly this is something that has been under discussion politically also, and now a lawyer from Tamil Nadu has filed this plea before the Supreme Court of India, saying that keeping the President out of the inaugural ceremony is a violation of the constitutional principles, because it is the President of India who is the constitutional head of the country and also is the part of the Parliament, because the Parliament of India, as defined under the Constitution, includes the President and as well as the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Clearly, this petitioner trying to make a legal and constitutional point, saying that the President of India should be inaugurating the Parliament. But the question still remains, will the court actually pass any direction? Because remember, this plea has asked for directions to the Lok Sabha Secretariat and the Government of India to change the inaugural ceremony to ensure that the President of India inaugurates the Parliament. The big question here is, will the Supreme Court take up this petition, whether they will actually entertain this petition? But politically, outside of court, this is a question that is being asked also by the opposition parties very clearly, that why is it that the Prime Minister and not the President is inaugurating the new Parliament? Back to you.
All right. Has this been listed for urgent hearing? This is what of course, Sunday is when the inauguration ceremony will be taking place. So, will the Supreme Court be taking this up with urgent effect? Do we have any idea on that?
Well, at this moment, what we do know is that this matter has been filed before the Supreme Court at around 12 o'clock. So it's just been filed in the Supreme Court registry. Whether it gets cleared for listing, whether it is actually listed for hearing, we'll have to wait and see. We did ask the petitioner lawyer whether he's planning on mentioning the matter for urgent hearing, but at the moment he is declining to make any comment whatsoever. Of course, he will be hoping that his matter will be listed, but at the moment I will not be able to inform our viewers with any clarity on whether the court will actually hear it tomorrow or not. But
this comes in all the backdrop of opposition parties, at least 19 of them, who decides to boycott the May 28th inauguration by Prime Minister Modi of the new Parliament building. And now a PIL has been filed in the top court asking for this inauguration ceremony by the Prime Minister to be halted, and a direction to be sent out to the Government of India asking for President Draupadi Murmu instead to be inaugurating this Parliament building, as that's what tradition says and that's as per protocol as well. If I could read out to you a few lines that have been mentioned in the PIL. The PIL speaks of how the government has ignored the actual protocol, says that President of India is the integral part of the Parliament, why the President has been kept away from the foundation laying ceremony of this new Parliament building, and now she's not even being invited, or rather not being part of the inauguration is all the more upsetting. This is what the PIL says, that this is malpractice. This is the word that's been used in the PIL as well, that this is malpractice and deprives the nation of its right. This is the PIL as it's filed in the Supreme Court, asking for a complete halt on the May 28th inaugural ceremony by Prime Minister Modi of the new Parliament building. This comes even as 19 opposition parties boycott this inauguration, saying that this is not as per protocols.